the child is not able to do it. That's dyslexia. Then we have dysgraphia, handwriting. Handwriting. The lines are drawn, but you see the A there, you see the P. The whole thing looks like a mess on the paper. We have dyscalculia, mathematics. I think I have dyscalculia. I have a serious problem with maths.
Right. I've had, a lot of people say, oh, me, I'm good at speaking English, but I can't write. And I'm okay because, when I go out and I'm speaking, people look at me with so much joy and no one even is interested in me writing. And they feel proud, And I think they also have to look into that. But let's talk about some of the challenges you as a teacher have faced in the classroom on how to help students to read, like some of the challenges you have faced.
Okay, so when it comes to challenges with reading, in the school system, we have, in my school, we have time for library.
Okay.
So when it's time, we go to the library, you help them take their books. Sometimes they want to take it themselves, they do that. Then they read the books. If they have any issues, they can just come to you. One thing is, because you have different students, some are slow readers, some are fast readers, some are not interested in reading at all. So we'll go to the library. The book will be open, but nothing is getting to the head. So most often what I do is that I speak with them before we go to the library. You need to prepare their minds. It's just an hour. Even if you can't read for that 1 hour, just read a page or two. I believe that these kids are very smart. They are also sensitive. So if you don't touch their hearts, whatever you are teaching them or you are telling them, they will enter and pass through this.
It's true.
So we have to get close to them. Some too may have genuine issues. So we shouldn't be so annoyed. Just calm down. Sometimes I get so angry, but I remind myself, sister, relax, then deal with them. So when you touch their hearts, the affective part of teaching is the most important thing.
I remember a few weeks ago or months when the final JHS students were about to write their BC, a teacher contacted me that she wanted me to do a video for the students, encouraging them to write and using myself as an example, someone they look up to. And I was like, hey. So she was like, yeah, maybe my personality can, have an impact or influence in their academic performance. Exactly. And I did that, and I got some, testimonies out of that. And I think what you're saying is also right.
Yes. When they see that you love them, yes, that's what I have learned.
Yeah.
When they see that you love them, they will also listen to you. But if it's just giving orders, do this, do that, honestly, these kids, they are big boys and girls.
True. Right. We have a question here, and this is from Sewa inside Kaswa. Sewa says, please, can you ask Madam if she can recommend some of the books we can use for our kids to start reading? I think she's asking for recommendations of, books that they can use.
It depends
to help their kids learn how to read.
It depends on the age of the child. So if your child is even between the ages of, say, 6 to 11. So if you have this child, that means that you shouldn't go for books that have big vocabularies, and they shouldn't be too voluminous because it discourages the child from reading.
Yes.
We have some Ghanaian writers who are specialized in children's book and teens book. One is Ruby Goka.
Okay.
Yes, so if she can get any book from Ruby Goka, I believe that it will help. Yes. So she writes books for teens and children.
Okay. We also have a question here. This is from Kwame. Okay. Kwame did not add his location, but he said, how do we integrate practical lessons into our books and encourage and engage young readers to love reading?
Practical lessons in the book to encourage reading.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you write a book, for instance, and you want to encourage reading, you can give a section for some questions after reading. They shouldn't be knowledge-based. It should be reflective. So if the child is not able to answer the question immediately, then the child can go back and read again in order to think about it deeply. So you can have these reflective questions at the end of your book.
Okay.
Yes, it shouldn't be too many because it's not examination. Reading has to be fun and exciting.
Right. So if you just joined us, this is the lifestyle segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. We've been having an interaction with Miss Angela Ankoma, right? Yes. On ways to help transform our communities through literacy, and she's been doing justice to the questions. It is an interesting conversation here. You can join the conversation by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number, which is being displayed on the screen, and also in the course of the conversation, the phone lines will be opened. You can also call and ask her any question you want to ask. And yes, the phone lines are opened now, so you can call in and ask all your questions regarding the topic for discussion. Now, Angela, we have another question here, and okay, so this is from Esther inside Pokwase. Esther says, please, can you elaborate more on the reading deficiency you mentioned? I think she lost the name.
Okay, dyslexia.
Dyslexia, and how to overcome it.
Wow, overcoming dyslexia. I wouldn't say dyslexia is it's not a disease. It's not.
So people are born with that.
Yes, that's the thing.
So you can be born not to know how to read.
Oh, no. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, dyslexia is genetic. Yes. So let's assume that I am dyslexic. I might give birth to a child. My child may not be dyslexic. Then my child will grow, give birth, and my child's child, that's my grandchild, might be dyslexic.
Okay.
So you ask, but what is happening?
Yeah.
You trace it back to me. Yes, so that's one thing with dyslexia. You can't cure dyslexia, however, you can learn to live with it and find strategies that will help you live with that situation. So most of dyslexic students are confident, outspoken, they are very critical and analytical.
Okay.
Even though they can't chew, in Ghana, most of them chew purpose. They are not able to chew all the information that you give them, but just give them hands-on. Let them be part of whatever you are doing. So in your teaching, it shouldn't be like a lecture, university. You don't stand in front of them, speak, and you expect them to reproduce. They are not like, their minds are not wired like that.
Even at the university, it wasn't easy for us, lecturing. Just come and stand and talk.
You talk. By the time 30 minutes is up, I've forgotten the first 10 minutes.
True.
So for them, you need to always involve them, practical. Let them use their hands. Let them think. They are very analytical. They are very critical. So when you do that and you ask them, they may not reproduce on paper, but just listen to what they say. Just last week, we had Dyslexia Awareness Day in my school, St. Martin de Porres, and we had some very prominent people who are dyslexic. I was surprised. And the strategies that they have adapted in order to thrive in their spaces, it will marvel you.
Yeah.
So being dyslexic, of course, it comes with challenges, but the society should understand that it's not your fault, and we can all do our best. Teachers are involved. Parents, don't say, "Meba we were born you, utiewu," and all that. You have
then they'll be comparing you, with other kids. It's so bad,
and it makes them lose their self-confidence, their self-esteem. It takes a long time for a child whose self-esteem has been lost to regain it. So as parents and teachers, you don't say, "Wabong, you are not good. You're able to speak. How come you can't write?"
Right, yeah.
Analyze the situation.
It's true.
Solve it for the child.
Exactly. We also have a comment here. This is, okay, so I am Jacob inside Wali Wali. Please, what are parents' responsibilities in helping their wards to read?
That's a very beautiful question there. Parents can do a lot. It's not just buying the books. Some parents think they will buy the books and that's all. When you buy the book for your child, guide your child, motivate the child to read. How? Sometimes, rewards.
Yeah.
When the child is able to read, say, a chapter, reward your child. You can take the child out, you can buy something for your child. It motivates them to read. One thing my grandma always does, grandma will tell you, if you're able to do this, I will get this for you. So anytime my mind is on whatever that I'm going to get. So when the child has this, the child will be motivated. Aside that too, as a parent, read.
Yeah.
Example, be an example for your child. So somebody may ask, what of parents who cannot read and write, like my mother? If you have somebody close to you who can do that and the person is willing to help your child, give room. Some parents forget that parenting is not for the father and the mother only. We have so many relatives who always come on board to help, even friends. Sometimes your child will visit your friend's house and realize that that particular friend gets a book for that child, and then help the child to read. In schools too, the teachers will do our best.
Right. The questions are, still coming. The book is still lying in the room. She hasn't even opened it. Even though I told her I was going to get her a surprise, she hasn't opened it. Please, what can I do about this situation?
Does she read? I joined the World Literacy Foundation as an ambassador in 2023. And I was surprised with the statistics. Illiteracy rate is not only high in Africa. Illiteracy is not a problem only in Africa, in the Americas, in Europe. It's everywhere.
Wow.
It's everywhere. But I believe that we can start from our homes. When our children know that their parents can help them develop something, they easily do it. So, mom didn't go to school, right? Imagine I had a grandma who also didn't go to school. That means it would continue if my teachers understand the importance of education. I know some kids will not understand and still turn out the other way, but a high probability is that these children who are from literate homes turn out to also be literate.
Yeah, very true.
So if adult literacy is high, automatically children illiteracy will be low. Because the adults are able to read, so they're able to guide the kids. But if adult illiteracy is high, then be rest assured that children illiteracy
will also be
high.
Yeah, that is. Angie, in a digitalized world era, these days everything is on our phones, laptop, tablets. Even parents now get their kids tablets and other things.
I believe that the traditional way of reading is good, is great. But the digital way of reading too, it's not bad, it's good. Just the screen time for the children. So if they are not reading from books, I prefer to read from my screens. So I need to protect my eye. But how many children know that staying behind the screen for so long is going to affect them? So yes, it has opened us up to books that we may not have, and you listen to the words. So that can reduce that. And aside the audiobooks, we have some apps that you will put your books on it will read so that you listen. Speechify.
Yeah.
Yes. So my friends told me, Angie, I'm not reading, no, because reading is expensive.
Yeah.
I said, how? She says, when you go to the bookshop and you are buying a book, you won't get less than, say, 70 Ghana cedis, 100 cedis, 150 cedis, 200.
Yeah.
So this is an excuse. I said, okay, if you don't want to spend money, I will send you ebooks.
Okay.
She said, oh, the ebooks too, when I'm reading, I don't feel it. I said, no, your problem is not reading, it's expensive. You just don't like reading.
And, you know, helping the situation at the other part of the country, the deprived areas, who are also at the affected side.
Government can do. Because we've spoken a lot about what
Yeah.
government can do. But we have these NGOs
Okay.
that are really doing well when it comes to helping. We can find ways to help them. I always say that teaching is my ministry. Because if you're waiting for resources all the time, resources may not come.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry for some of the follow-ups. We'll have to take you back to some of the questions you answered. So there is a follow-up question here. Please, can you give us the strategies of... You made mention of the fact that you had a conference. Hey, was it a conference? No.
The outreach?
No, in your school.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
dyslexia awareness.
Where big men were also victims of such, and they gave out some strategies. So I think that is what the person is referring to. If you could, you know, lay down some of the strategies so they can also help themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So I will talk about, hardly see hands-on learning. You hardly see the kids involved in the teaching and learning, even though that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We see the lecture method most often. So with dyslexic students or children, always make sure that they are involved in what you are doing.
Yeah.
Don't preach to them.
Okay.
You are not in the church.
Yeah.
Yes. So let them be involved.
Yeah. And I'm very interested, you know, in the motivation part.
Yes.
Because when people are motivated, they do, you know, they come out so well, so good. And I think as my child, oh God, it's okay. So let me just, I understand what the language is very bad. So let me just say, she's a mother of 3 and she's an illiterate. She doesn't even know if she can go back to school.